Alright, I would recommend that you take the summary notes that I gave you in class and compare it as we go through. So you're looking at multiple sources and understanding the attributes for the kite and then for the trapezoid. So what a kite is a quadrilateral with two pairs of congruent consecutive sides. So if you'll notice, these two sides here are congruent and these two sides over here are congruent. And what it does is it creates a number of predictable attributes. So if, and I'm going to show it up here, right? I have gone through and used a protractor in the past, and I'm going to show you what would happen since this is a small kite and we want to move at a decent pace. Alright, it says measure PTQ and QTR. Well, PTQ is this angle right here, and QTR is this angle right here. And what you get about when you measure it, and it's pretty obvious just by looking, is that these are 90 degrees. By the way, if they're both 90 degrees, every angle in this interior where the diagonals bisect are 90 degrees. So what does your result tell you? It tells you that the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Alright, so every time you have a kite, they bisect each other and they are perpendicular to each other. So it also says use a protractor, right, to measure PQR and PSR. This is PQR and PSR. And if you do that, you're going to find out that this specific diagonal, right, that meets at a vertex, right, that is congruent. So the angles, the opposite angles, at least one set of opposite angles are congruent. So we're going to say one set of opposite angles are congruent. Alright. Now, this entire activity down below just reinforces what we said there. So I'm not going to require this today, but I'm going to say self-explore. Explore. And I'm going to say choice. I would always recommend playing around with a figure. We're going to turn it over and we'll look at all the attributes because there's a number of other things. I'll even mark one here. Alright. So what do we know so far? We know the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. We know the one set of opposite angles are congruent. And this other diagonal, I'm going to let you know right now. Right? And we're actually going to show you in class. This other diagonal bisects these angles as well. Alright, so here are all the attributes. Let's mark it as we go through. So, if a quadrilateral is a kite, the diagonals are perpendicular. We only need to mark one for them all to be perpendicular. Linear pair makes that 90, vertical makes that 90. If a quadrilateral is a kite, then exactly one pair of opposite angles are congruent. It is always this pair. Alright. There's a couple more things. Alright. If a diagonal is a kite, then one diagonal bisects the pair of non-congruent angles. So these are non-congruent angles and they are bisected. I'll put one tick mark there. I'll put two tick mark there. And there's one more. This is an important one. If the quadrilateral is a kite, then one diagonal bisects the other. So I'm going to put a mark here and here. Let's go ahead and mark it as a kite by saying these are the same and these are the same. Alright. So here we go. In this kite, the measure of ABE is 32 degrees. So let's look at ABE. It's 32 right here. And BCE, so BCE right here is 62. So this is 62. We can actually get every measure on here because this angle is bisected, making this 62. Right? We know these are 90 in here. Well, 90 and 32 here are 122, right? which leaves me 58 here, which is 58 here. Since these are opposite, that's 32 here as well. So this is 90, so I could say 90 plus 62 is 152, which leaves me, what is that, 28 here and 28 here. There's every angle. And this is the one thing we're going to do when we start. We're going to get all these. So let's look at it. We got CBE, so let's CBE. We have as 28 degrees. ABE, so let's go ABE, we have as 32 degrees. From part A and part B, what strategy could you use to determine ADC? Well, let's see, ADC. Well, we could just add both angles. So that would be 32 plus 28 to give us, what was that, 50, 60 degrees, 60 degrees. Determine measure ADC. So we already have, it is 60 degrees. Alright, ooh, maybe I should actually show you what I'm writing out. Alright, there's a little bit more. Find the measure of the missing angles. So it's good that we do this again. So we've got 2 here, and we're at least going to get these 2. So we know this is 18, and this is 29. That makes this also 29, because those angles are bisected. Alright, we know that this is 90, and this is 90. So 90 and 29 here add up to 119, and that 119 tells us that there's 61 more degrees over here. And there's 61 here and 18 here. Alright. Now if this is 90 and 18, that's 108, which leaves us 72 here and 72 here. We have got every angle on there. Let's come over here. Alright, so what do we have here? Alright, I'm not quite sure where this 2x plus 3 is, but I believe it's here. I believe it's this 90 degree angle. So I would say 2x plus 3 equals 90. I could be wrong. Could be this guy over here. 2x equals 87. There's no way that's that, because it's going to make this angle too big. So I'm going to back up, and it wasn't marked well, but I believe it actually represents that and that. And those angles are congruent in this figure. So let's go back and we're going to revisit this. 5x minus 15 equals 2x minus 3. We'll add 15 to this side, removing it from this side. 5x equals 2x plus 12. Subtract 2x. 3x equals 12, and that gives us x equals 4. I plug 4 in here, right? We would get 20 minus, well, that would be 5 degrees, which is kind of a angle that doesn't make much sense, but there we have it. Find each variable. Well, I would say in this situation, there isn't a way to find y, because they haven't given us enough information. These two are the same, and there's no real relationship between these, and since those are the only two that we have, we don't know. Alright. That's interesting though. Alright, so we're going to leave x, and we're going to move on and see if there's anything more, but there isn't. The very next thing we have is our first experience with a trapezoid. So I'm going to end this and say first 2 pages, and I will talk to you soon.